The Broncos will kick. Here's Brandon McManus to start us, and we are off from Denver. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Right 80! Right here. Kill.
This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Throwing Fitzpatrick. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
On 3rd and short, Drake. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. River Craycraft deep for Denver. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. To pass, Flacco. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. The 6th season in Denver now for Emmanuel Sanders after those 4 years in Pittsburgh. And you may recall, Sanders tore his Achilles December 5th last year in practice. But before the injury, he was on his way to another 1,000-yard season. And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Well, the Broncos had 15 4th down conversions last year, most in the NFL, and they're going here. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
second down. It's Drake, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes. Loss on the play, and it'll be third down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme, come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
Well, this is on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Craycraft on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. As Denver takes back over possession of the football, I want to discuss their Week 6 victory. They shut out Tennessee. So now they're 2-4, 2 straight wins after the 0-4 start. And on an afternoon where Champ Bailey and the family of late owner Pat Bowlen were presented with Hall of Fame rings, the Broncos defense, they played like Hall of Famers.
They certainly did. And how about these season-saving victories the last 2 weeks out, right? Started 0-4. They've won 2 straight. And I think they've got a chance to run off a few more, right? They've got a huge game on Thursday night, but it's at home against Kansas City that struggled itself, losing the last 2 weeks out. Then they go to Indianapolis, and then they come home to play Cleveland. None of these games are out of reach for a team that's playing as well as they are on defense.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Flacco. The Sanders has got it complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly.
There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Tim Patrick, 52 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Miami getting set for their next drive, and they lost Week 6 again, this time to Washington, coming off the open weekend. They were at home, and Washington was winless. Charles thought maybe the Dolphins would get this one, had a chance late with a 2-point conversion. Couldn't get it, and they drop it 17-16.
They show effort every game that they play. They are not out there just floundering around and just laying down for teams. They play hard, just not talented enough to get over the hump. But what was strange for me was seeing this little nugget. This was the 6th game in the Super Bowl era where the two teams were 0-9 or worse. Not a recipe for anyone wanting to watch that one, but they did play hard, and I think that they will break through before the season.
And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And great effort. I mean, does he get burned for that in film? He fought through some tackles. End result, though, a fumble.
It's going to be one of those situations where he'll get yelled at about the fumble, but at the same time get a check mark for the extra effort. And so it's one of those tough, tricky things for coaches. You don't want to coach it out of them so much that you take away the effort. You just want them to be conscious of taking care of the football.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the 1st quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. And able to get them inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. That 2nd down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And Freeman finding his way in for a Denver touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Broncos push further out in front.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll make the score 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And the final act came from Royce Freeman on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now McManus for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. Pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Fitzpatrick now. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 8. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And it's incomplete. His tight end, Dwayne Allen, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Okay, now I want to revisit what we were doing earlier, contender versus pretender. We did the AFC, let's rock the NFC here, starting with the New York Giants. Pretender, but much improved. Okay, NFC North, how about the Vikings? Contender, no doubt about it. Carolina in the South, what do you think there? Contender and ascending. Okay, the quarterback play has become a good thing for them. Finally, out west, how about the Arizona Cardinals? Pretender. The division's just way too tough. There are 3 teams. Cross midfield down to the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down. On 1st down, Drake. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Fitzpatrick, his throw incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fitzpatrick, and this is Parker, complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage. Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit? For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit.
being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now it's Flacco. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Of course, not wearing a Baltimore uniform anymore, but he likes playing against Miami. During his time as the Ravens starter, he was a perfect 6-0 against these Miami Dolphins. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 34. They'll run. It's Lindsey. Oh, he knocks him over. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Throwing here on first down. Flacco to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Flacco toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Flacco and the offense staying put. They're going to go for it on 4th. Now Flacco. And that is going to be incomplete. It was a safety, Rashad Jones, that time, who was able to break up the play. Well, we got a second. Let's look ahead to Week 7 and what's on the slate. Things start out Thursday night. Kansas City at Denver, divisional battle.
Suddenly an interesting game. Kansas City having lost their last 2, and Denver now playing defense as we expected. But how about the NFL 100 game of the week? Oakland at Green Bay, a rematch of Super Bowl II.
Also have New Orleans at Chicago and Philly visiting Dallas on Sunday night.
That is a huge win in the NFC East.
Yeah, both teams 3-3. The winner will have the lead in that division. On to stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game. Air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Sanders has it over the middle. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they wanted to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
Now a throw on first down. It's incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
52 is the mic right here, over there, right? 52.
Flacco looks to throw. Well, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler, Xavier Howard.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Caught, it's Wilson. And he coughed it up. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Mike 47. You got nothing to work. You got nothing.
First down, Fitzpatrick. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Fitzpatrick looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw, Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, his 2nd sack of the night. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in this. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler, Xavier Howard. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be from 56 yards out. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll go again with Lindsey. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards there and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to the safety, Rashad Jones. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And Chubb is in for a Bronco touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
McManus now for the extra point. And he's been a bit Busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
On 2nd and 7, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. On first down, Drake. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick, and he finds Parker here, complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. The way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 56 yards. And the Dolphins are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not. From a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And they can't corral him. He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. We know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickup. Yard on that last run. Another run by Lindsey. And Lindsey is going to get in. Touchdown, Broncos. A 10-yard to break multiple tackles to earn that touchdown. Bottom line, he earned that touchdown.
Indeed, he did. That was pretty much a get off of me run.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
51, Mike 51. I got one.
From the 38, Fitzpatrick. It's complete. Stills. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there. First down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And Stills bringing it in. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And he hits Drake. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Drake. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. On 2nd and 12. Fitzpatrick. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Fitzpatrick now. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. All right, CD, let's have a little fun. Now that we're into October, I'm going to give you some AFC teams. You tell me quickly, contender or pretender. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's start in the East. Buffalo.
Contender for a wild card spot.
Okay, how about the Chargers?
Pretender.
AFC North, the Steelers.
Contender because the AFC North is a jumble.
Okay, and then lastly, let's go to the South, Jacksonville.
Houston now in control.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. He was looking to go back to Sutton there, but it'll be 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lock. Floating one, incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. Lock now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Lock. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who get 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Running, it's Drake. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. And this will be taken at the 13. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lock. And Sanders has got it complete. He won't go down. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Lock going to throw. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, and he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey. And bulldozing through multiple tackles. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsey, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as his guys continue to pour it on. That was a pretty impressive touchdown play. Those broken tackles, those weren't easy to get by.
No, they really weren't. And they've had trouble tackling throughout this ball game. But on this particular play, how about that move? Or I should say moves with an S. Because I don't care if you're a great tackler, you had trouble getting him on the ground on that play.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... You know, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is down.
And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 29 yards. First down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 24. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Quick hitter here, it's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some steps.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they... Just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Dolphins on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 5. Fitzpatrick. And he finds Stills, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now a draw play with Drake. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Extra point up and good by Sanders as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Powers through again. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
To try again after the sack. Lock. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Ready? 30 base.
It's a give to Freeman running right. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. On 2nd and 7. Locke. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.